send it.
Awesome.
So, company name and all that stuff. This is
OA Defense.
OA Defense.
And we make the OA 2311.
2311.
Yeah.
So these are basically like not a staccato, but like a replacement for a staccato type gun. Is that what you're saying?
That would be one way to put it. Yeah. So basically, what we did with the 2311 was kind of take away a lot of the pain points of a traditional double stack 1911, 2011 style pistol. So the first and foremost, everybody kind of knows with those style pistols, the magazines are a little bit of a pain point, right? They're relatively expensive. They require additional maintenance. You're not going to find them in every gun shop in America,
right?
Or anywhere else for that matter. So the big thing when we designed this was we want to go to a more prolific, more affordable magazine that was designed natively for a 9mm double stack.
Nice.
As opposed to something that was designed for 38 Super Comp originally. So you don't have those stacking issues, the geometry issues, are not as picky. So we built these around the SIG P320 magazine.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a popular mag.
It was between that and the Glock mag. There were a number of reasons we went the direction that we did. But first and foremost was they're in a lot of supply chains now. They've got the military contract. It's a metal magazine body.
Over.
They're everywhere.
I like the metal too. That's sweet.
Exactly.
Sweet. So what do you have here for different models and like some of the features? So these are all hammer fired like a 1911. Are they double single?
No, single action only.
Oh, single action only. Nice.
Yep. So it's the internals of the fire control group are basically Series 70 1911. So your hammer, sear, and disconnector are Series 70 1911.
Oh, sweet.
When you start moving out from that, that's where things start to become proprietary. So we do a proprietary mainspring, proprietary trigger and trigger bow, and that's all to do with the interface with the mag release for the 320 mag release, and to do away with the grip safety. A lot of people don't like grip safeties on 1911s, 2011 style pistols, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't want to deal with it. We didn't have to want to pin one. We didn't want to have to put Ranger bands or tape on it. So we designed it to not have to utilize that. Now we did put an extensive amount of third-party safety testing into these, drop safety testing, all kinds of stuff, and they passed with flying colors.
And that's just with your regular safety there.
Correct. Yep. Nice. Exactly. And that just had to do with the geometry of how we fit the hammer and the sear engagement and everything, and how we tune the triggers.
So these are all drop safe and everything, which is crazy.
They are 100%. Yep.
Because this trigger is fantastic. So right here, in my hand, I'll teacup it like a bud. Look at this reset. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Your splits have got to be crazy. With
so you can run dummy fast splits with them, but it's also one of the most tactile, positive resets that you're going to find in a hammer gun.
I noticed that. It really snaps into place.
Exactly. So most of our background in the company, we are either avid competition shooters or former military law enforcement guys. So we all have spent a lot of time on these guns and a lot of guns in general. And so a lot of us, we really like to have that tactile reset. And a lot of times when you go to a hammer gun, especially like a higher end 2011 style pistol, you are sometimes sacrificing that reset to have that really light trigger pull, right? Which is great if you want to take a really precise single shot. But when you want to run it really fast, it can sometimes be tough because you don't have that tactile reset there to be able to run that and run really fast splits on it. So
that trigger is insane. Honestly, that's probably better than any 1911 I fired, even the high-end ones. I cannot believe how short that reset is. Has nice clicks there. So this is kind of like I don't really do the windows personally for stuff like that. So this would be more of a mini race gun type deal, even though it's not long.
Sort of.
Kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, you're closing in on it. So the kind of tagline we use for these is that they're duty gun reliability with race gun DNA. So they really are. They're built to be duty guns. It's not going to be the lightest trigger you've ever felt. They ship with a 3.5 to 4 pound trigger depending on the model.
That's a pretty solid trigger.
Duty rated trigger to NIJ standards. Now you can tune them like any other 1911. So if you want to lighten that up a little bit, you can. That's kind of up to the end user. Certainly have a competent gunsmith do that. But to answer your question directly, so we have a couple different models, and actually in the 3 that we have here, this kind of do cover the gamut. Yep. So our standard full-size model is a 5-inch upper, 17-round magazine. So that's your full size. Then you get into the compact over here on the right. Compact is going to be a 4.25-inch upper with a 15-round flush fit. Gotcha. And the compact's going to have a little bit more of kind of a bobbed, rounded off magwell and design aesthetic. Makes it a little bit more, geared towards an EDC, especially like in waistband carry, so it doesn't print on you.
Yeah, it's actually a really good middle of the road side.
It is. It's like dimensionally very similar to a Glock 19.
Feels like you could totally carry this and it not be ridiculous.
Correct.
Now I will carry something ridiculous. I'm cool with that. I'll suffer.
So you don't have to suffer, right?
So that's the gun I want. I'll suffer.
That's what the middle ground is. So what's right in front of you. So this is our full size compact. This is our compact pro with what we call the plus kit. So we have our regular compact pro that has the 15 round smaller compact. When you get into what's called the Plus kit, that's just the Compact Pro, but with the full-size magwell on the bottom.
Yeah, it,
so
I
that
actually noticed
gives
the
you
pinky interface is, it doesn't feel like it's bumping into something.
exactly. So that gives you the same 4 1/4 inch upper, but this one, like you mentioned, has the windows light and slide, has the integral porting, so ported barrel, ported slide. It's going to give you the enhanced mag release, the full size mag well, which gives you just a little bit more purchase on the gun. So if you are, somebody that's going to spend a lot of time actually shooting your carry gun at the range, you want a little bit more purchase and more control. 17 round mag, that kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are sweet. So this is the middle of the road. This is $25.49.
Correct. Yep. So price wise, that's actually one of our more expensive models.
It's not bad though.
Right. So yeah, we range from about 18 to 25 depending on how you kit them out. Yeah.
So what's down here? Are these the same thing, different color?
They are. Yep. So these are our standard models down here. Again, standard full size, standard compact, compact pro. Just in our standard colorways, and then the high desert colorways are new for this year. We have our high desert black, which comes with the black polymer, your normal black and tan, and then we have our high desert sage, which is kind of a nod to our heritage. So all of our guns are made out in Nevada in the high desert up near Reno, or in Dayton, up in the Sierra Nevadas up there. So that kind of harkens to where we come from, where we build the guns with that sage green and tan motifs. So.
That's cool. No, I really like these. I looked at these a bit earlier, but I didn't talk to you guys too much about them. But that's nice. Now the grips and stuff, looks like you can change out back straps.
You can.
Side panels.
Yeah, we only have the one size as it stands right now. We'll probably increase the options there as we continue to grow.
For my hands, it's perfect. But I'm curious for other people if they would need something.
And so surprisingly, we did put a lot of work into so the integrated thumb ledges. I'll get to that in a second. We did put a lot of work into developing the grip around. Listen, there's never going to be such a thing as one size fits all, but you can build a one size fits most. And that's kind of what we developed these around. Got a lot of feedback from people with larger hands, smaller hands, male shooters, female shooters, to try to develop something that was going to have a comfortable fit, feel, and ergonomics for as many people, as big a cross section as possible. So, and then as you touched on, you do have the completely ambi controls on this. So you have an ambi safety, you have an ambidextrous slide stop, left and right side, which that's the only 1911 that's ever had that from the factory.
I've never seen it. That's sweet.
That's patented. And then we also have the built-in integrated thumb rests here that give you not only a place to drive and index your support side thumb, but it also gives you a really good tactile index point for your trigger finger.
It gives you a nice high index for if you're running, doing something nuts, That's
exactly. You don't have to worry about your finger slipping into a trigger guard when you're drawing or returning your pistol to the holster and reholstering. It gives you a really good tactile spot. It's great for teaching new shooters too.
Interesting.
For developing that master grip and giving them a place to put their trigger finger when they're not on target.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that I noticed on this side. And I didn't even think about this one until later on. No, that's really nice. And honestly, I like when they do that because since it's there, it's like you said with the new shooter, it shows them how to shoot properly.
Right. It gives them that repeatable index.
Or it ain't going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really nice. So these are cool. I like the fact that they're definitely a good amount of money compared to like a regular pistol.
Certainly.
But they're not like a staccato.
Right.
Where you're spending a fortune on them. And these, that trigger is insane.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the reset. The shoe of the trigger itself is actually nice too.
Yeah, so it's a flat trigger, but we have the bevels on the top and bottom, so it allows you to kind of index into the center point and make sure you've got a good trigger press on it.
I noticed it falls perfect every time. It's a real subtle, just
really repeatable trigger index. Yeah, exactly. We put a lot of time into the ergonomics, and again, that comes back to when you have guys who spend a lot of time behind a gun, developing a gun. That's going to come through ultimately, right? As opposed to when it's simply designed by just engineers.
I'm also a fan of the mix between competition and duty. Because going full one way or the other, you either end up something with really vanilla, or you end up with something that doesn't belong anywhere outside the competition.
100% correct. And you end up sacrificing something. And that's what we wanted to kind of bridge that gap where you don't have to compromise reliability or performance. So you're going to get really high performance, a really good trigger, a really fast cycle time, but you're not giving up the reliability. And part of that comes down to again, we kind of talked about getting rid of some of the pain points of these. So with it being, it's a completely tool-free takedown.
Oh, sick.
With that ambi slide stop in there. But we also have in the barrel, the barrel lugs itself actually have these debris clearance channels in them, which it's a patented system. So you have the debris clearance channels here, you have this scallop cut out in the bottom of the frame, and you have a fluted guide rod, which is not just for aesthetics. So the whole point of the fluting on the guide rod, it gives you clearance between the coils of the recoil spring and the actual guide rod itself.
So if you do get junk inside there, it's got somewhere to chill.
100%, and actually to self-evacuate. So if we've done a lot of testing with these where we'll dump them again. They're born in the desert, so we'll go out back behind the shop.
They were born in the sand.
Dump these in the sand, kick them, fill them up with sand, and pick them up and just continue shooting them. And they won't stop running. They're going to feel a little crappy. The trigger's going to get gritty, but it will keep running.
Once it starts running,
and it'll keep
clean
operating.
itself out. And
it does. It self-evacuates out the front.
That is really cool. I love the mesh of all that. It is cool. It actually takes down like an SPO1, a CZ.
Yeah, exactly.
And
putting it back together is really easy. And what's nice is, again, you talked about trying to bridge the gap, right? And the idea for these was to create a pistol that guys were coming from a custom striker gun. It's not going to be a completely foreign concept to them. So when you take it down for field stripping, maintenance, etc., you're not dealing with a completely different recoil assembly. You're not dealing with a totally different takedown process. You don't have to realign the link on the barrel, because these are a linkless barrel, which most 1911 or 2011 style pistols have a link barrel, a la your traditional 1911. So we moved away from a lot of the things that kind of caused some of those hiccups and pain points in the 1911 and brought this to the market, which really does kind of bridge the gap between those two worlds.
Yeah, that's super cool. And honestly, like you said, with a guy who shoots striker, like I shoot striker, but when I first turned 21, I was 1911 for a while.
Sure.
But like really, you draw with your thumb up anyway. You come up, your safety's off.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's totally legitimate.
Yep, absolutely.
That's sweet. Yep. Thanks, man. I appreciate the run through of all your stuff.
Yeah.